Welcome back, flockers, to another episode of Between Two Cars. Last time we talked about what are some dead giveaways that someone is a fake car guy. Today we are continuing that because you guys are just giving me some great pointers and great examples. So if you guys want to be a part of these polls, go follow my Instagram at ___ Drew Peacock. It might be linked somewhere, it might not be. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive right in. Let me just refresh this, by the way, because Part 1 was really good, in my opinion. I genuinely think that you guys had some of the best examples. Part 2, or whatever. You get. How is it going, flockers? Welcome back to another episode of Between Two Cars. Today, we are going to be continuing talking about what are some dead giveaways that is. How is it going, flockers? Welcome back to another episode of Between Two Cars. If you made it to this video, thank you guys. Today we are going to be continuing what are dead giveaways that somebody is a fake car guy, a poser, a ricer, whatever. Their car knowledge is lacking. So watch this video, maybe learn a thing or two, and see if you agree with me. If you guys want to be a part of these polls, I do them on my Instagram. Go follow my Instagram at _ Drew Peacock. It might be linked somewhere, it might not. Anyways, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right. When they say takeovers are a part of the car community, from Z06 Ghost Rider. Takeovers are most definitely not a part of the car community. That is like organized crime. That is not a part of the car community. If you go to a takeover and you think that that is some car guy shit, that is not some car guy shit. You know, you've never seen a takeover in like a Fast and the Furious movie. You've seen bank heists and stuff, but you get my point. That's not car guy stuff. That is hooligan. No, not hoonigan. Hooligan activity. That is zero IQ, brain rotted activities. Do not do that. So, yeah, just don't. Another guy said participating in takeovers. An ugly wrapped Mustang on beadlocks claims to be fast, but is only really a stock EcoBoost. I feel like he's talking about me, but I ain't in an EcoBoost, so I don't know. They like Hellcock. What the hell are you guys talking about? They should have gotten a manual. Car guys talking to a guy who got a car strictly for racing it in a straight line. I don't know what you meant by that. They should have got a manual. Car guys talking to a guy who got the car strictly for street race or for racing a straight line. Racing in a straight line or even around corners, automatics are faster. Whether you like it or not, it's just a proven fact. You cannot outshift a machine. It shifts faster. Less fun? 100%. But if your ultimate goal is to race, especially for money, then driving an automatic is better. Now, I think there's more respect with driving manuals, especially like in a race car, you know? Like, I think that's cooler. But, yeah, if your ultimate goal is to go fast in a straight line or around corners or whatever, an automatic makes more sense. Someone who only cares about cars' social status rather than its performance. Oh my God, so many people buy cars solely based on TikTok clout, Instagram clout, whatever you want to say it. So many people buy clapped S13s, clapped S14s, E36s, E46s, E30s, you name it, just for that Instagram clout and stuff like that. And it is so sad because they just bought themselves a fucking never-ending nightmare. That thing is a piece of shit. You never want to see that thing touch the road. It's never going to touch the road. Oh my God, yeah. Don't buy a car based on its social status. Buy a car that you like. Buy a car that will make you happy. Spend your money where you want to spend it. That's the best thing I could say. So, yeah. They think their EcoBoost is the same as a GT350. If somebody genuinely thinks that their EcoBoost is the same as a GT350, they need their fucking brain checked. Like, they need an IQ test. I don't know anyone personally. I've never heard of anyone personally that thinks that their EcoBoost is the same as a GT350. But if that is the case, they are wrong in the head. Genuinely. So, the only thing they care about is speed. That's a good one. That is valid. There's so much more to cars than speed. Coming from somebody that has built fast cars, you know, 900 horsepower Mustang, 900 horsepower Supra, 700 horsepower McLaren, 700 horsepower or 600 horsepower Corvette, you know, I have more fun in the slower cars. Now, I hate that one quote, it's better to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow. That is the goofiest and lamest quote I've ever heard. But there is a little bit of merit to that because you can have more fun in a slower car. You can have more rush and more adrenaline in a faster car, but overall fun for day-to-day driving, for going places, canyons, whatever, slower cars to an extent are better. Now, you pair that with a fast car with great handling and great suspension like a supercar or a Corvette or something like that, and you have the best of both worlds. So if you were to tell me, would you rather drive a Miata through a canyon or a Corvette, I'm taking the fucking Corvette. I don't care if it's a base, it's going to be more fun. So, no. When they say I'm not a car guy, my car is not an automatic, it's a DCT. Oh my God. If you don't have a clutch pedal, if you don't shift your gears manually, like by putting them either in your H pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you have a sequential or something, you don't have a manual. You don't. I'm sorry. You don't. I'm just gonna say it. Nothing wrong with not having a manual. Like I said, I pushed Mammy to get an automatic in her S650. Nothing wrong with it. But don't try to rep like you have a manual if you don't. Just own that you have an automatic. It's okay. It's 2025. Automatics are fine. Okay? We've grown up a little bit. It's okay. But it depends on the car. Automatic Miata, I don't even know if they make those. That'd be a sin. That would be bad, though. Automatic Subi, that would be bad. Automatic Honda, that would be bad. Automatic Mustang, now you're talking, because those have badass automatics. Automatic Corvette, might not be the worst thing ever, you see? Just depends on the car. Slower cars, I think, need to have a manual to make them more fun. Not being able to differentiate between a joke and true posts in terms of Reels and TikToks. It's hard with that. I mean, the problem with that is you can't understand someone's tone of voice through text. So that one's really difficult. I'm going to say, because even I fall for that shit sometimes. That rage bait shit is so old and corny and stuff. Even I fall for it. These came out really good. I really like how these look. Yeah, that's when they are too busy trying to impress other car guys. I'm trying to digest that really quick. I don't really experience that unless it's on social media. I don't really experience that personally. I've never really seen someone try to impress other car guys unless they're like trying to like show off or make noise or drift or something. And usually it doesn't end well. So yeah, I don't know. AutoZone parts. Define AutoZone parts, because if I need a brake caliper for a stock car, I'll go buy an AutoZone part. I did that on my brother's Kia. So you watch your mouth. Doesn't eat their vegetables when they are scared to push their car and drive it like a grandma. That is something that I think I blame Alma for all the time whenever she drives or she's following me. The other day we had to go take her car in for a recall. So I was like, well, I haven't driven my Mustang in a while, I'll drive it. So I drove my Mustang. I took it to where we had to go. But as I was going, she was supposed to follow me. And she was like 2 cars behind me. I'm like, how do you followed me out of our street. How are you 2 cars behind me? You're in an automatic V8. You have no excuse to fucking just stomp on that shit and go around people. So I do not understand that at all. They think wheels and coils are a build. Wheels and coils aren't a build. I wouldn't even consider Alma's car a build. We've done wheels. We've done lowering springs, we've done exhaust, we've modified her intakes, we've done a gear select, we've done aero, we've done all of that, and I wouldn't even consider it a build yet. Like it's becoming one, but yeah, I think until you actually start adding power and stuff, I personally don't consider it a build. You know, if your stuff can be reversed in an afternoon, I don't think it's a build. Even this Vet, I don't think you could reverse what I did in an afternoon because I've done a handful of things, but they're like, it's nothing major, you know? Like I have the stock wheels back on for now because of the rain. But the flex sensor, the intake, the cooling mods, the carbon, the lowering and stuff, like you can't really undo that in an afternoon, but wheels and coils, you definitely could. More horsepower equals faster. Oh, God, that's a good one. Yeah, more horsepower does not always equal faster. There are 2 great defining factors to that. One, you can have more horsepower than a vehicle and more weight, in which case it doesn't fucking matter. You're a fat bitch, you cannot move fast. Two, you can have more horsepower and less traction. If you have more horsepower and no traction, you're not going anywhere. I'm sorry. I could throw this car on some 18s right now and not hook for shit, and I will be slower than a stock Mustang. More horsepower does not always equal faster. So that's a good one. I do agree with that. They think only forced air induction cars are fast. Define fast, you know? I think most forced air induction cars have the opportunity to be faster and easily modified, you know? But you look at a forced induction car, let's talk about a Subaru. Would we consider a WRX a forced induction car? Like it is, it has a turbo, but it's not necessarily faster than an NA Mustang or an NA Corvette or an NA Camaro, you know? So, you know, I don't know. I get what you're saying though. Yeah, just because it's boosted doesn't mean it's faster. Just because it has a turbo or a supercharger doesn't mean it's faster. So I get what you're saying. There, you can have a fast NA car. There is this one guy, I forgot his fucking name. Back when I used to roll race a lot, like early on, this thing was back when it was plasti dipped. That's how long ago we're talking. There was this guy when the 2018 Mustangs just came out. So we're talking 2018, 2019, around that time. He had a 10-speed NA auto, and he was mopping Z01s and Hellcats. Mopping them. I mean, I was in my boy's Z01, and this NA Mustang is just just pulling away the whole time. And I'm just like, holy fuck, dude, you gotta sell this piece of shit. You're in a modded Z01 and you're losing to that? That's crazy. I don't know if he was modded at the time, the Z01, but still, you get what I'm saying. Crazy. Heat extractor backwards. Yeah. If you want to put a ricer mod on or something, or even like I have vents on my hood to help get the heat out of it. If you put it backwards, you're fucking stupid. Like that is a dead giveaway. Talking about crank horsepower. No, oh, that's a real good one. That's a real good one. Nobody ever talks about crank horsepower. Nobody. Nobody. If I'm telling you my car makes 900 horsepower, or someone tells me their car makes 900 horsepower, I'm expecting that to be at the wheels. I'm not expecting that to be crank. Because if you're talking about that and you are inflating your thing, you are going to lose. You are going to lose that race. Let's use this as an example. Me and this guy are at a car meet, and I tell him, yeah, my car makes 900 horsepower. And he's like, oh, mine too. We should get a friendly run in. Okay? But one of us is talking about wheel horsepower, one of us is talking about crank horsepower. Whoever's talking about wheel horsepower is going to win because there's a thing called drivetrain power loss. So cars are not efficient. They're not perfect. The power that leaves your engine goes through your transmission, goes through your drive shaft, gets through the differential, gets through the axles, gets to the wheels, and has to spin that bitch, is less power than what is up here. So if your car makes 930 horsepower, like this one does, to the crank, it probably makes 1,050. This is a 1,000 horsepower car. But I don't go around saying it's a 1,000 horsepower car unless I'm making a YouTube title because, you know, we have to make it seem cooler than it actually is, even though 900 horsepower is cool. It just sounds better, 1,000 horsepower. Anyways, point is, if somebody says 900 horsepower at the crank, they're realistically making like 750 to the wheels. You know, maybe more, maybe less. But there's a good, they say 15 or 20% drivetrain loss. I don't know if it's amplified, you know, with more horsepower, because that doesn't make sense to me. I feel like it should be consistent. If my car loses, you know, let's say 100 horsepower through the drivetrain, whether I'm making 800 or 1,000, I think it should still be 100 horsepower. So, you know, I would always, that's the way I look at it. It doesn't make sense scientifically unless I'm just tripping for it to be a percentage. In my opinion, it's just a solid number. So just usually add 50 to 100 horsepower. That's probably what your drivetrain loss is. Now all-wheel drive cars will be even less because they have more drivetrain. So, make sense? Sure. I don't know about front-wheel drive cars. I don't know how much those lose, but typically for a rear-wheel drive car, I like to think of between 50 and 150 horsepower loss. So yeah, you got soft hands. When they can't remember the liter of a motor. It depends. If it's your own motor, yeah, I feel like you should know. Like, this is a 6.2 supercharged, if I remember correctly. It is. This is a 5.2, technically, because of the built motor. My Supra is a 3-liter. Like, I should know my own cars, but like, if you were to tell me what's the liter of a E92 M3, fuck if I know. I don't know, 4.8, 4.2. I don't know. I don't think it's anything above 5. So I don't know. You know. So I think it just depends on if it's their own car or not. Adding spoilers, lips, diffusers to traffic cars and calling it a build. Like I previously said, if it could be reversed in a day, I personally don't think it's a build. Yeah, I mean, if it's like, if I could undo your whole car with goo gone and a screwdriver, then I don't think you have a build. So that's my own personal opinion. Like, there's that one fucking NPC car creator or whatever on Instagram. I think I made fun of him recently, or like laughed at him, threw him in a video, whatever. And he was like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna show him by doing more to my NPC car," and it's like, you're not showing anybody anything. Like, nobody wants to see that, and I'm not gonna lose sleep if you pull it off or not. You know, like, good on you if you do. I'm glad I motivated you, but it's still not cool. Like, it's still not cool. I don't think they care. You know. When they brag about their homies' cars 24/7, not their own. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. Oh, I know a guy. Oh, my friend, my uncle, blah, blah, blah. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, if you're talking like the whole time about, you know, somebody, you know this, you know that, it's pretty corny. I have a story about this. When I was putting in my, either I was putting in the built motor or the Supra had just burned down, one or the other. When I was doing that, one of my roommates brought over his friend, and his friend was telling me, "Oh yeah, when I was at work, this guy pulled up in his Supra, and dude, the thing made 1,200 horsepower. The thing was sick, bro. Like, yeah, you know, it was this kind of blah, blah, just like talking about a car that, one, I don't think existed, and two, wasn't his. So it was like, cool, I guess. I don't know. Like, you know, let's talk about our own cars, I guess. But yeah, there are people like that where they always, oh, I know a guy. One of my old roommates actually, I don't like him, but he would always try to get me to race his friends because, like, I had faster cars than him, and he was always like, oh, well, my buddy who's a millionaire has a twin turbo Viper. You want to race him? And it's like, no. Like, it's a waste of gas. I'm not going to risk going to jail to race a car that I already know I'm going to lose. You know, like, I don't need video proof of it. I could already tell you. Yeah, I'm going to get gapped, you know? So, but yeah, I remember that. I remember it. I hope someone sends stock car images again in Rice or Nice. Your reactions were hilarious. Okay. eBay wide body kits. Yeah, I've been guilty of buying. When I had Project WAP, I bought a cheap wide body kit for it, and I was going to wide body it and make it look sick and do all that stuff. And then when I got the car and I tried to put it on, it just did not fit. That was the most disappointing thing ever, because it would have looked so sick. But do not waste your money on cheap fiberglass body kits. Do not do it. Do not do it. Unless your boy has the same one and he's like, yeah, bro, look, it fits good. Don't do it. And even then, the quality control is bad. I remember this car. It was such a sick body kit too. It was, like I said, it was for Project WAP. The bumper didn't fit, the fenders didn't fit, everything on that car did not fit. And I think I sold it for like a couple $100 on OfferUp to just someone else, just to see if he would fucking try it out. And he did, he took it, and he never hit me back up, so I'm assuming it worked out, but I've never seen that car in SoCal, so it would have looked sick though. It was such a sick kit, but yeah, don't buy a cheap body kit. When they don't know what a Challenger Cobra 392 is. That one's funny. Up badging, thingamajigs, calling cosmetic stickers mods, and then calls a cold air intake a mod. Cosmetic, okay, well, one of those things is right and one of those things is wrong. I would consider a cold air intake a mod. If it's like an actual cold air intake, like it's a legit, you spent a few $100 on this bitch, yeah, I would consider that a mod. Going to AutoZone and buying a K&N high flow filter, I don't think that's a cold air intake. I think people are stupid when they think that. But yeah, the stickers and stuff, the cosmetic shit, that's definitely not a mod. Car-related clothes from Zoomies. That's not a bad thing. I think I have a few car-related clothes things from Zoomies. Some of it's sick. What do you want me to wear? Only like, I don't even have anything on my shirt. I don't know about that one. I count your days, mister. Who was that? It is Troy 25. I don't know. I personally, like, it depends, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I think like the TikTok clothing is like worse. Like when you see like Porsche GT3 RS shirts and stuff, I think that's worse than like going to Zoomies and seeing like a JDM shirt. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. Jeez, you're making me feel insecure over here, mister. Some of these we covered in the last video, so I'm just trying to read through them. People who are over Allegiant brands. Okay, these people need to learn how to type. Car guys appreciate cool cars no matter the brand. Thank you so much. That is a fucking good one. That is literally what I rep my whole thing by. That is so true. Some people are so brand loyal that they just hate on every other car. Like, I genuinely say all the time that I think Charger, Challenger, wide body, like Hellcats and stuff, I think they look fucking sick. I think they are dope cars. I personally wouldn't own one, but I like the car. I genuinely think a wide body Charger, wide body Challenger, they look fucking sick. Because of the whole them getting stolen and stuff like that, that's my main reason for not wanting to own one. But I think they're cool. I genuinely would own one, like 100%, but I don't want to deal with that, so that's why I don't. But same thing, like, yeah, a lot of people just hate on cars because it's another brand. Like Corvettes. Corvettes and Porsches have had a huge rivalry forever. And a lot of Porsche guys won't like Corvettes, and a lot of Corvette guys won't like Porsches, and it's like, bro, they're both cool cars. I would take either, you know? So same with, I mean, look, I'm standing next to a Mustang and a Corvette. Mustang, Corvette. And so, yeah, I think, you know, there's cool cars in every manufacturer. Any car can be cool too. It just depends on what you do to it. So that is such a fucking good one. That guy cooked. Lando Witz. You fucking cooked right there, my guy. You really cooked. You should have bought an X car. It was faster. So you should have bought an, you know, let's say I bought a base. You should have bought in the Z06, or you should have bought in the ZR1, or you should have bought the GT500 because it's faster. There's truth and there's lies to that. A lot of people, like Mammy's car is a great example. She bought a base GT. That car can be much, much faster than both of these cars here because of its potential with the Coyote. But yeah, a lot of people, they always say that though. Like, I think it just depends on how you carry yourself mainly. But if you carry yourself like an asshole, then you're going to get those comments. But if you carry yourself respectful, I don't think you're going to get those comments. But yeah, I mean, dude, the dark horse, like I think a lot of people were like upset that she didn't get a dark horse. $70,000 for a, dude, she could have bought a ZR1. Like, I'm not buying a $70,000 dark horse for 5 more horsepower and a body kit. Like, I'm not doing that. Or, you know, the new Shelby GT350 that came out is a Whipple 5.0, guys, and it's $110,000. Stupidest shit ever. So, yeah, I agree with you, though. I do agree with you. Now, you have JRWRX, so I'm guessing you should have bought in the STI. You should have bought in the STI, so you're a loser. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Don't hurt me. That was funny, though. Oh, my God. When they have a straight-piped Infinity. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a good one. Sorry. Like I said, I'm just trying to not make sure we don't read anything. Not working all day for a minor problem on their car. I don't know what that one meant. I read that one last episode, and I didn't read it, like, out loud because I was trying to understand what that means. Is he talking about, like, you just, like, not fixing your car over a minor problem? I guess. I don't know. Not working all day because of a minor problem on their car? Or are you talking about, like, not going to work because of, like, a minor problem? Like, oh, my battery died, and I don't know how to fix it. I guess. I don't know what he meant by that one. Sorry. That one didn't translate good. Hellcat is faster. We already know that. Anyone who doesn't understand power to weight. We've talked about that before. Let me refresh this because I'm sure we got even more in here. Wheel specs and fitment don't go with the car. That is a goated one as well. I honestly think that one's goated. Yeah, if you buy wheels, especially, aftermarket wheels. Like, it's one thing to have stocks that don't fit. Like, I could go buy spacers and make these stocks look great on this car, and I don't for one particular reason. This rear quarter panel is not PPF'd yet, and I don't want to scratch it any more than it already is because of how wide this car is. So I don't do that. Once I throw on my aftermarket wheels, I won't need the spacers anyways. It won't even matter. So we're not even going to do that. But yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. If you buy aftermarket wheels and they don't fit, like, am I on spacers anywhere? No. So these aren't on spacers, and these are probably as close as it can get without rubbing. And these are on a tiny spacer to clear the brake caliper, and it's as perfect as it can get too. Like, this car has great fitment, in my opinion. It has the best fitment out of all my cars. Everything is just perfectly lined up. It looks phenomenal. And that's as designed. So I 100% do agree with that. If you buy wheels that don't fit and tires that don't fit, you got the Bulldog stance or you got the Tuck stance, yeah, you fucked up. You fucked up. Or if you have to run a massive spacer to counteract it, you fucked up. You just bought the wrong shit. No matter what they're discussing, it's always about price as the main focus. Yeah. Yeah, I think if price is a big conversation piece when it comes to cars, that's kind of stupid. Like, either whether it's them trying to flex it or them trying to like diss it or whatever, the price of a car really doesn't matter. You can buy a phenomenal car for $50,000. You can buy a phenomenal car for $80,000. You can buy a phenomenal car for $20,000. You can have fun in all three of those, you know. And then you can buy an even more phenomenal car for $150,000. But buying a car for X amount and then thinking that it's cooler or whatever, or you're better, I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's kind of lame. But I get what you're saying though. When they talk shit, even though they've never wrenched on the car, let alone their own car in their life. Okay, I understand sort of what you mean. Yeah, once again, this is the reason why I started my channel was early on, you know, I was newer to the car scene, and there's this one quote that really stuck with me, and it has nothing to do with cars, but it's, you know, I don't need to be a master tech to understand if a car is shit or not, just like I don't need to be a 5-star chef to know if a meal sucks or not, you know? You guys don't need to be music producers to know if a car is, or if a song sucks, right? So saying that like, oh, you didn't wrench on your car, you can't have an opinion, you could still have an opinion. You don't need to be a master tech to understand if a car is dog shit, but I wouldn't necessarily talk shit, you know? Like, if you literally don't wrench on your own car, one of two things. You have enough money to pay a shop to do it for you, which in my opinion is fine. I don't see anything necessarily wrong with that. If you can afford that, or if you just don't feel like you want to wrench on a car or risk it, I understand it. With this car, I do a lot of the work myself from the engine back. I don't touch the engine because it's a fully built motor. I didn't assemble the motor. It's a Whipple supercharged vehicle. I didn't put the Whipple on. Can I? Yes. And well, you might say, well, anyone can say they can. I've done it. We put a Whipple on Brian's car in my driveway on his Gen 2. So I know I could do it, but I would rather pay somebody in case something happens. I'm not liable for it. I'm also fully building the Supra. So in my case, I don't want to take on multiple projects at once. So if I were to do something to this car, depending on what it is, I would send it out because why would I do it here? So yeah, I mean, it all just depends on how you carry yourself. If you carry yourself like an asshole, people are going to call you out on some dumb shit. When they glaze. Sorry, the battery died on the camera. Plugged it right in. We ain't done here. We ain't done here. This one says, when they all glaze the G80 or an M340, BMWs in general. Okay, so I like the G80. I think it's a cool car. Whatever, okay? Do I glaze it? No, not really. M340s, though, or just 340i's in general, people glaze the fuck out of this car. And I'm going to be the one to say it. It's not that cool of a car. It's not. It's a 4-door NPC sedan with a cool motor. I will say that. But it's not a cool car. Yes, you can make them fast. Yes, it has the same motor as the Supra. You know what else has the same motor as the Supra? Sort of, kind of. The SC300 and the IS300. Do we say that those are cool cars? No, not really. So do we really need to have this conversation? No, we don't. The M340, the 340i, they're fine. You can have fun with them, but just sit here and act like you're sitting on a fucking holy trinity of a car. It's just not. It's a cool car. It's got cool capabilities. It's got a cool motor, but it's compared to other cooler cars, it's not that cool. It's towards the bottom. Like, it's at least an actual car guy car, you know? How would I put this? It's like, I don't even think it's like the SS sedan from Chevy. It's worse than that because it's more regular traffic looking, you know? Like the SS sedan is rare, so when you see one and you actually realize what it is, it's cool. But an M340i is like seeing a 335i in the wild. It's really not that cool, you know? You see what I'm saying? Perfect example right there. 335i. They can fuck off too. Their name is Drew. You're going to make me cry. Obsessed with the B58. Damn, a lot of people just recently are saying everything about the B58. B58's cool, but yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest motor ever, you know? It doesn't know the difference between horsepower and torque. Yeah, I mean, torque is what makes you feel fast. Horsepower is what makes you fast, I guess, if that makes sense. Like, torque is that punch. Torque is that hit. That's torque. And horsepower is like the momentum, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know. Maybe I worded that really poorly, but torque is underrated. I think having a car with good torque, looking at you, torque is underrated. Torque is sick. When they talk about specific parts and repairs and they respond with, oh yeah, the engine. I'm not even going to fucking try to digest that. I kind of see what he's saying. When they'll be like, oh, I hurt my car's broken, what happened? Oh, the engine's messed up. Like, that doesn't really say much. You know, I kind of get what you're saying there. I think that's what you meant. I don't know. People think that top speed matters. I've kind of answered that one before. Top speed isn't everything. That is true, though. Yeah, how fast does it go? On that same note, very, very both the same thing. I've been asked that a handful of times. When I had the McLaren, I was asked that so much, and it was like, give me a fucking mile-long runway, and I'll find out. I don't fucking know. Jesus, man. You know, how fast does it go? It's fast. When they can't tell you what's done to their car that they bought, we already talked about that. Oh, my bad. They think only certain brands are the best and track times doesn't matter. I don't think track times matter. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think track times really matter all that much, unless that's what he's agreeing with. They don't. You're not a track driver. You're not. You're not capable. Most of us aren't. I'm not either. I'm not a fucking track driver. You know, what do I look like? I'm a fucking YouTuber, okay? I'm like bottom of the barrel here. I'm not any more skilled than most of you guys. We're all just normal people. So for us to sit here, that's like saying, oh, this baseball bat is better than that baseball bat because Barry Bonds uses that baseball bat. You're not Barry Bonds. It doesn't fucking matter. We could put that I have a baseball bat right here. I think this is a Vladimir Guerrero baseball bat, right? I believe this is like his signature bat. I don't know if it's mini Vlad or big Vlad, but I think this is one of his, right? Anyways, I'm not Vladimir Guerrero. So, no, Pujols. I think this is a Pujols bat. My bad. Regardless. Point is, regardless, I'm not Pujols. So no matter what, I'm not going to hit like Pujols. I'm not going to get a multi-million-dollar contract. It doesn't fucking matter. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing. It's just a piece of wood. This is just a vehicle. It doesn't matter about the time because you don't have the capabilities to push it like that. Now, you can look at it objectively as, oh, well, this car has a better time, so in theory, it handles better. Yes and no. I mean, there's been times where I think what was the Porsche Carrera, they recently did a new Nürburgring pass or run with it, and they just gave it better tires. They just updated the tires, and it dropped like multiple seconds. They went faster. So the times really don't fucking matter. One day it could be one thing, another day it could be another thing. It really doesn't matter. So, yeah. But yeah, thinking that only certain car brands are the best, that's just ignorant. There's good cars in every car brand. Whether you like it or not, there's good car brands. Not knowing Drew Peacock. Yep, subscribe. Thinking they can beat you in a race simply because their car has more horsepower. But yeah, that's one we already kind of covered, but I agree. The horsepower doesn't matter. Dynos all don't read the same. This car could read 900 on one dyno, it could read 1,000 on another dyno, and it can read 700 or 800 on another dyno. It really doesn't matter. So, are those turbos when they see the Subaru with some horns, with the hell horns? Yeah. I used to make that joke early on when I first started this channel, and people thought I was serious. I'd be like, "Oh, look, he's got it twin turboed," because it would have like the horns in the middle. Yeah, funny. People didn't get the joke though. I think we're pretty good. I think we're pretty good. Beadlocks on a Mustang with less than 1,000 horsepower. Look it. Technically, I make less than 1,000 horsepower, but I need these motherfuckers, okay? I already don't hook. I need them. So stop it. Stop bullying me. Yeah, I think we're pretty good there. I think we covered a lot. Hopefully you guys learned from this. We can do another one in the future. We can maybe talk about some things that let you know that they're a real car guy. So comment ideas that we could do in the future. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know down below. Subscribe. And until next video, peace!